Greetings, Arts Beatniks. It's the KC Arts Beat Report. I'm Patrick Neas. And if you love choral music like I do, you definitely want to stay tuned because we're going to be telling you about a great concert of English choral music, stuff that you often do not get to hear. And it's a rare opportunity, and we're going to talk about that with a woman who has an impressive resume, and she's sharing her talents for free with Kansas City. But first, I'd like to ask you to please subscribe to our KC Arts Beat YouTube channel. Like this video, share it with someone you know who loves choral music. And also, please follow us on Facebook and subscribe to our Substack, kcartsbeat.substack.com, and we'll send information about the arts directly to your email free of charge. Well, right now it's time to introduce you to Stephanie Henry of Thin Air Productions. Stephanie is so glad to have you for the first time on the KC Arts Beat Report.
It's great to be here.
As I was saying, you have quite the resume. I mean, you are a native of Boston. You hold advanced degrees in choral music and conducting from UCLA and the University of Southern California. You've taught on the music faculties of UCLA. I mean, I could go on and on. But I want to ask you, how did you arrive here in Kansas City in 1999?
Yeah, it's kind of like a Dorothy story. Well, I was born in Boston, um, did undergraduate school there at the University of Lowell. And when I got out of school, I had to earn a living. So I had a job and um, at a junior college. And I was trying to figure out what I was going to do in music. I was a keyboard player. Had just gotten into conducting, thinking that, maybe I could actually do this. Whereas when I was in school, I didn't know any women conductors, so I just assumed it wasn't a thing I could do. But anyway, um, so I began studying in Boston. I took a summer class with Lorna Cook-DeVaron at New England Conservatory and discovered I had a lot to learn. Um, and uh, and then the next thing I knew, a friend of mine uh, got into grad school at UCLA in engineering. He went to MIT, and so I thought, it'd be fun to go someplace else for a while. So I got laid off my job, and I decided, okay, this is a sign. So the two of us drove out to LA. He went to school. I got a job. Uh, then I got into UCLA as a conductor of choirs. One thing led to another. Ended up going to USC, got a doctorate, and got married. And just, the life in LA was getting to me, the traffic, the smog. You had to schedule everything, a trip to the grocery store. It was terrible. So my husband and I decided, let's get out of here. And he had a married sister in Topeka. So we thought, let's go to their place for a bit. He was a construction person, a designer, and a builder. So he added a wing to their house in Topeka. We bought a place in Kansas City and in the plaza and moved here. He has since passed away. And I just thought, why think about going back to Boston? Kansas City has everything, arts, dance, theater, drama, music, you name it. So I just planted myself literally here. Got married again. Yeah, here I
Well,
am.
and here you are doing wonderful things. And one of those things is Thin Air Productions. And you have this production coming up on June 21st at 3 p.m. at Southminster Presbyterian. And we're going to talk about that in just a second. Just one more thing. Tell us about Thin Air Productions.
Bennie Productions evolved from a concert I did just before the pandemic. We did Beethoven's Mass in C at Southminster Presbyterian Church, which is where I was the director of music at the time. Um, and And then we had to, of course, everything shut down. And we reemerged after the pandemic. And I talked to some people and they said, look, you need to make this a regular thing. So I did, and I figured out a schedule to hold 2 public concerts a year and maybe 1 or 2 house concerts. We have a nice house for that. Um, and I decided I wanted the concerts to be free, so anybody could come, young or old. And the concerts are about an hour long. I try to keep them an hour long, no intermission. And I hire people who live here in town, live in the Kansas City area. And I do repertoire that you're not likely to hear a lot in church or downtown or, um, unusual repertoire. For example, one concert we did South American music and we did the Villalobos Bachianas Brazilianas pieces, 2 of them. The first one for orchestra, the fifth one for cellos. What am I saying? 8 cellos, the fifth one for cello and solo soprano, which you don't get to hear that every day live.
Right.
Things like
Oh,
that.
yeah,
And so,
right.
yeah, so it's become a kind of a habit.
Yeah. Well, good
Um,
habit. And
yeah.
this next concert is a typical example of how you're doing off the beaten path repertoire we don't get to hear all the time. It's called Luminous Gems, a glimpse at 5 centuries of English music. And boy, you have really put together a terrific program of fantastic composers. And again, this is stuff you just are not going to hear every day. Tell us, kind of give us an overview before we start talking about a few of the particular pieces, because there's a lot on the program for an hour.
I know it.
You put together a lot. But tell us what you were going for here.
Well, yeah, these things sort of start as embryos and then they grow and and at some point I arrive at a decision of, okay, what exactly is going to be on this concert and what's it going to focus on? And I've always loved English music, and I have had several opportunities to visit England and hear the music live. And the one thing I haven't done yet is attend, the Christmas Eve 9 lessons and carols, which I'm working on. I'm going to get there. But so I have come to really appreciate the music of John Tavener, 20th century composer. He passed away in 2013. Um, but his music came to me first via Princess Diana's funeral. And the choir sang a piece called Song for Athene. And I lost it when I heard it. It was beautiful, beautiful, open, spacious writing. Um, um, Not tons of notes, but somehow completely riveting, moving. So since then, I've discovered more of his music, and so we're doing 2 pieces by him. One is Song for Athene, which is a cappella for choirs of various sizes. The other one is the first movement of a not 10 movement piece called The Protecting Veil. This is for string orchestra, and John Tavener wrote each movement to express some aspect of the Virgin Mary. He was a very spiritual person. He belonged to the Orthodox Church. A lot of his music has to do with his spirituality. And again, I heard this someplace and had to pull off the road to listen to it because I found it so riveting. So those are bookend pieces of the concert. They're
Uh-huh.
both very, very moving. And the last piece is Song for Athene, which is ineffable. Um, then I do some sacred motet type things in the program. I do some secular pieces. We're doing Thomas Tallis, If He Love Me. which has always been a favorite one, and one that a lot of church choirs do sing. We're doing William Byrd's Ave Verum Corpus, which I have always just loved. And that's that these pieces are short,
Uh-huh.
so you mentioned the amount of titles. Well, but we can do it within an hour for sure. Then we're doing two movements from Byrd's Mass for Five Voices. We're doing the Kyrie and the Gloria. I'd love to do the whole thing, but now that would not fit in the program. But it gives people a sense of the kind of sacred writing that Byrd did, and did better than anyone else before him and after him for quite a while. I couldn't resist one of my favorite things from undergraduate school was Henry Purcell's opera or dramatic. It's not really an opera. It's kind of a
A
partial
mask.
mask. Yeah.
Yes, whatever that
King
is.
Arthur.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And I've always just loved it. So I've extrapolated the third act, which is called the Frost Scene. It's one of these magical kinds of things. There's spirits in it, and there's magic, and there's no real plot. It actually was designed to be sort of a political statement. Um, each of the characters, well, King Arthur represents King Charles, who passed away, you know, and so it's but we're only doing a clip of it because the
Uh-huh.
the choral writing is just spectacular. Purcell manages to make these arias and choruses sound like the people are in a meat locker freezing. It's just
Uh-huh.
amazing. Um, and then we're doing, let's see, Orlando Gibbons. He wrote call it a madrigal for lack of a better term, The Silver Swan,
Uh-huh.
about the myth perhaps that you don't hear a swan until they're ready to die. Lovely, moving work. John Bennett's Weep, O Mine Eyes. Many people know this. I think it's a popular high school, college madrigal. We're also doing Charles Stanford's The Bluebird, which is from a group of three part songs um, based on the poetry of Mary Coleridge. I'm not sure whether all three are based on her, possibly not, but it is a stunning nature portrait. I
Hmm.
mean, you see the lake, you hear the lake, you hear the bird, you feel the air. It's stunning. Um, and I don't think I have ever heard it in concert. So that'll be something new. Ralph Vaughan Williams wrote three Shakespeare songs based on text from two of Shakespeare's plays. And we're doing one of the three, Full Fathom 5, a little bit alliterative there.
Uh-huh. One of
Um,
my favorite.
Oh,
Yeah.
and yes, it's gorgeous. And you feel like you're in a bell chamber. It's wonderful.
Uh-huh.
It's just wonderful. Then I'm throwing in an organ piece, an arrangement by Ralph Vaughan Williams of the Welsh hymn tune, Rosamedra. Um, Vaughan Williams set three Welsh hymn tunes for organ, and this is the one I know best, and it's beautiful. Um, then we're doing the arrangement. This is an arrangement by Cameron of Edward Elgar's Nimrod movement from um, the Enigma Variations. And I love the piece, but the first time I heard it for chorus, I thought it was, sometimes these things don't translate well. Just beautiful. So we're going to do that. Um, and then we're doing Benjamin Britten's Festival Te Deum, which is just a riveting, difficult piece for organ and choir. And it's of course set to the Te Deum text. We praise thee, O God, we acknowledge thee. And then we're closing. Wait a minute. Well, yeah, the concert closes with Song for Athene, Tavener's wonderful, wonderful um, piece. But I thought, wait, something's missing. You can't do a program of English music and not include hymnody, right?
Uh-huh.
So I think we're probably going to start the concert off with the hymn tune that Hubert Parry set, Jerusalem.
Uh,
And most people recognize it. And if you don't, if not, it's from the movie
Chariots of
Chariots of
Fire,
Fire.
right.
Yeah, yeah. So and we've updated the text a bit. There's a more modern text. Actually, it's perfect because it's a plea for peace.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, so that's the program. Um,
Fantastic.
yeah,
It's amazing how within about an hour or so, you're able to traverse the complete history of English music in such
yeah.
a kind of in-depth way. I mean, you've done a fantastic job.
Well, yeah. I didn't want it to be a program of best hits, favorite hits, but
No.
they're
I do
definitely
recognize some of the, like I
yeah.
recognize, of course, Song for Athene. I used to play Rosa Midra regularly on my morning show. It's so
Oh,
beautiful.
really? Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yes, it's so beautiful.
It is.
So, yeah, yeah, but I can tell there will be a lot of discoveries here as well, which is what makes a great concert.
Yeah.
You might hear something, oh, I recognize that, but then you're going to hear so much beautiful music that you've never heard before. I love that Elizabethan sacred music by Tallis
Mhm.
and Byrd and Gibbons.
Yes.
Again, you
Yeah.
hardly ever hear it performed. It's just
Yeah.
fantastic. And speaking of things that are familiar, I see a lot of familiar faces in the ensemble you have, like
Oh, yeah.
yeah, like John Schaefer and Jim Jans and others. And
Yeah.
you're going to be conducting, right?
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Now, yeah, I don't know how you can do this for free. You've got quite a lineup of instrumentalists and choral people. I'm sure you could probably use some, donations. How can people
Well,
help you?
yeah, we're Luddites when it comes, my husband and I, when it comes to, I don't have a staff,
Uh,
but I'm gonna have to start hiring people. We're doing everything ourselves, and as a result, we don't have a QR code that people can donate by. We don't have a system yet, um, and that will evolve, I'm sure. But I'll be honest, I um. I was perplexed because the same thought occurred to me. How am I going to sustain this? And an elderly uncle to whom I was very close passed away. And unbeknownst to any of us, he had quite a stash. And there are three nieces and nephews to whom he bequeathed um, some of that stash. And, um, my first thought was, well, I know exactly what I'm going to do. So I use some of that. I'm working on other sources of financing for it because yes, I believe traditionally choristers never got paid. They would be expected to show up and sing. Uh, Instrumentalists would get paid because presumably unlike singers, studied for years. Well, things have changed a bit, and so I believe that everyone should be paid for their time, if not their talents. So yeah, so we're working on that, but
well,
but yeah, I mean, it
but
takes time. It takes time for word to get out.
yeah, well, in the meantime, if you do attend the concert and you are pleased with it, which I'm sure you will be, consider maybe dropping a little something Stephanie's way. Stephanie, because we really appreciate you being so generous, with your time and money to present a fantastic concert like this one, Luminous Gems. Again, it's happening June 21st, 3 p.m. at Southminster Presbyterian in the lovely neighborhood there. Is that considered Prairie Village or Roland Park?
I've always called it Prairie Village,
Yeah,
and
I
I
think
think
that's
most
right.
people most
Yeah,
people do.
but
Yeah.
it's on Row. What's the exact address on Row?
6306
Six.
Row Avenue.
And again, that's 3 p.m., June 21st. Just show up. It's absolutely free. And you can find more information, I suppose, at www.thinair.productions.
Right.
Excellent.
Right. Yeah.
Well, Stephanie, we really appreciate you putting on these fantastic concerts, and we want to see them grow, and we want to see
Good.
you do many, many more in the future. So we appreciate it very much because this kind of concert is a rare gem.
Yeah, that's true. Thank you.
Thank you, Stephanie. Well, you've been listening to the KC Artsbeat Report. Again, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, the KC Artsbeat YouTube channel. Follow us on Facebook. Like this video, that's really helpful. Share it with somebody you know. And subscribe to our Substack, kcartsbeat.substack.com. I'm Patrick Neas, and I hope you'll join us next time on the KC Artsbeat Report.